Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. And today is the first Saturday in October 2022, so I am blog hopping with my Project Share friends Jill, Jez and Verity. So there'll be a link in the description bar below to my blog post so that you can hop along and see what the other three ladies have created too. Our theme for this month is black and white, so I have created this lovely little drawer box that's a perfect fit for a tin of Vaseline, and it's a very strong reinforced box base or drawer, and I'm going to show you how to make that. And I'm going to stick with black and white and do exactly the same again. Okay, so this is actually a remake of a project I made a few years ago, and just thought I would bring it up to date. So using the quarterfoil tile for the embossing on the side there, and happiness abounds and blossoming happiness for the little flower and that beautiful sentiment. Okay, so starting off with a piece of basic black card, and this measures 5 3/4 inches by 5 3/4. Need to do a bit of scoring on this first of all. Okay, and I want to score that at 1/4 inch, then at 1 inch, then at 1 3/4 inch, and then we scoot along and do it at 4 inches, 4 3/4, and 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so we've actually got the same lines either side there. I want to turn that around and do exactly the same again. So 1/4 inch, 1 inch, 1 3/4, 4, 4 3/4, 5 1/2. All right, all of the measurements and the score lines etc will be in my blog post as well. As I said earlier, link to that blog post in the description bar below. So just going to burnish all of these lines. Now that tiny little 1/4 inch one actually folds the other way. That's all right. You can either do it at this stage or you can do it later on. It doesn't really matter. And then once we've got all of these lines scored, did that the wrong way, then we've got quite a bit of cutting to do as well. So as I say, this 1/4 inch one folds the opposite way from the rest. Fold that towards me. And these ones away as normal. Okay, so we've got lots of lines. We're going to take out, let me just get this right, 1 2 3 4 5 6 little panels there and each corner. Okay, there we are. So that's the piece that you're taking out on each corner. So I will just quickly do that. that should be looking like that now. So with these bits, I want to cut straight down either side of that rectangle. Okay, we're keeping this bit and we are taking off 1, 2, cutting along the second score line there, both sides. Okay. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side. So straight down, 1, 2 to the third score line, same again, and then take off 1 at the second score line on these ones. Right, so we now look like this. I want to miter these bits here, so I'm just chopping in a little bit on each of those. Now looks like this, and I just want to take off a tiny little bit on each of these 1/4 inch panels around here. So our final piece before assembly looks like this. Okay, now before I assemble it, I want to put a little hole in one of the pieces so that we can put in that little ribbon for the drawer. So I'm going to turn it the way it's going to fold in, and I want to put a hole just using my take a pick tool on my Stampin' Pierce mat in the middle there. Okay, and just take a little bit of this ribbon and feed that. Maybe should have put it a little bit longer. Give myself more to work with, but we'll see. Hopefully this will do. This is always the trickiest bit, eh? You know, they say never work with animals and children on television. For me, it's never work with ribbon. Let me find a pair of tweezers and that might help. Can we get it through them and snag it at the back? Yay! Okay, just open my ribbon out like so, and I'm just simply going to put a piece of tin tape over that. This will be getting glued down anyway, so I'll just a bit belt and braces. So we've got our little loop on there. Get rid of that again. So I want to do some assembly. As I said earlier, this is a reinforced box, so you've got 2 pieces for the sides there. We've got these little tabs here. and I'm going to add glue to those. And simply fold that round, line it up and give it a squeeze. Okay. Line that up and put that in place. Same with the other two. Fold in, line up your edges, press it down. Okay, now I'm going to actually take that off there, and it's just completely unfolded. You can take a bit more time over it than me. Okay, so next bit is to add some glue to the side and just pop that down so that it sits. You've now got a double thickness there, and you've got a little lip on the bottom there. Just work your way around doing the same. So it's a bit more card, it's a bit more cutting, but it's still nice and easy to put in place. And in fact, don't always have to glue these because it's so tight at the bottom there with the extra thickness of card that it does actually stay in place pretty well even if you don't want to glue it. Okay, so we have our tray for our box. Got a little bit bashed there, me being heavy handed trying to get that ribbon through. And I have a little piece of card that I'm going to emboss to put on the inside of that, but we'll do this piece next. This is a piece of basic white. It's 2 3/8 of an inch by 7 inches, so it is a little bit wider than your tray, and that just gives you a little bit of a neater finish, that you don't see the tray poking out at the front or the back. Okay, so the way I like to do this is start at the back, roughly in the middle, and just simply fold that over. I'm just giving it a light crease, and then I can fold it properly, making sure that it's straight, and give it a good crease with my bone folder. All right, so we've got that one, and I just want to do the next one. Doing it this way means that it's not going to be too tight, but it'll be a nice snug fit. So we've got those two, and now just fold that up and round. You can do two at the same time now that it's got a bit more form on it. So that one, and just making sure that you're lined up there. And same again, making sure you're lined up nice and straight. Okay. And this, there's a good overlap on there again. It gives you a little bit more strength on it. So I'm going to put a line of glue along here and one on the inside of there, so that both parts of that overlap. have got glue at the join. Okay, so nice neat finish there. So the piece for the inside and the next layer, so I've got a black layer and then I've got a white piece to put on there, and I've got black layers and white pieces to put on there. So I need to do the embossing with this embossing folder here. It's a lovely big one, so I can put them all in, all of my white bits in there, and just emboss them all at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to do that and I'll be back with you in just a second. We have our embossed pieces. And this isn't a 3D folder, so it just runs through with the cut and emboss sandwich 1 and 2, 3 plates on that. So nice and easy. Okay, let's make sure I've got the right bits in the right place. So that's the bit that's for the inside. I can just add some glue there. It's just an extra decorative piece. Go right into the edges there. All right, so our tray is complete. I want to add these layers to the black pieces. All of the dimensions for these pieces are in my blog post. And remember, when you visit my blog, to hop round and see what Jill, Jez and Verity have done with their black and white projects. We never know what each other has done, so it's every bit as much fun for us to discover whether we've used the same things or completely different. We all have different styles, and it's quite a nice, quick and easy blog hop to work your way around when there's only 4 of us taking part at any one time. So you get extra inspiration without having to spend too much extra time. And then all we need to do is do a little bit of stamping and die cutting, and a little bit of fussy cutting too. Okay, so I can put that to the side and wait for those bits to dry. I have a couple of little scraps of basic white. I'm using Memento black ink. And I should really bring this back in to get a good impression. Lovely. That's ready for die cutting. And my sentiment: you are wonderful in every way. Gorgeous. Love that font. I love those swirly tails on that. So the die set has a die that fits that gorgeous little flower. Once I've got that lined up, a little bit of low tack tape, and that can go through my mini cut and emboss. I had my large one set up for the embossing folder. I've got my mini set up to cut. There we are. Got our little flower to go on there. Now my sentiment. Messy. Need my glasses on for this. I am probably the world's worst at fussy cutting, and I don't normally do it, but I just kind of thought this needed a little bit of trimming, a little bit of fussy cutting. So we didn't lose. I could have done a die cut, but then you've got a lot of extra space, or you'll cut off those tails. Didn't want to do either of that. So, as I say, not the best fussy cutting in the world. Just tidy up that's a bit too sharp at the end there. Although because it's white on white, it's not quite so visible. Just got little bits along there, so I want to make sure I've got some glue there. That's maybe a bit much. You are wonderful in every way. And then this flower I popped up with some dimensionals. And I also added a bow with the same ribbon. I've gone ahead and already tied a bow. It's a little bit big. So I can just finesse it a little. And then to add that on, I use mini glue dots. And to make sure I got in the right place, I put my glue dot on the stem of the flower. Then my ribbon on there. And then trim. Do that way. The tails of that ribbon, like so. Then pop that up, and then we're done. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, then please do give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, then I'd love you to click on the subscribe button. And if you click on the bell, you'll get a notification the next time I upload a video as well. All that's left to do is pop my little gift inside there. And there we have it. We've got two lovely little drawer style boxes with a little gift inside. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye.